Hello and welcome to Stay Home Music Festival. It's nice to have you. Can you
Hello,
tell us who you are and where you are right now and where you're from, maybe?
my name is Francisco Gaspar. I play the trumpet since I was 6 years old. I come from a little town in Alicante. It is called Villena. And now I'm in Alicante City because
Hmm.
I'm living here now. So, yeah,
Yeah, and that's where you are confined, I guess.
yes. I am here with my girlfriend. She's also a musician. She plays violin. And yeah,
Hmm.
normally I'm traveling quite often to Barcelona, playing with Liceu Opera Orchestra,
Yeah.
and to Madrid with the Madrid Symphonic Orchestra as well. So
Hmm.
yeah, I live in Alicante, but I am mostly outside from Alicante.
Okay, so it's quite a change for you then, the situation to suddenly be put in one place
Yeah,
for
in
long.
one place only.
Okay, but can you practice? Can you still make your music?
Yeah, I can practice. I am very lucky because there were some neighbors. Uh, one of our neighbors is having like a kind of Airbnb house, so
Okay.
they are renting for shorter period.
Yeah.
And normally they are coming for holidays, and it's not very nice to be hearing always a trumpet very loud when you are
Yeah.
in holidays. So this was sometimes a bit of problem, but now no one is coming, of course, and and for me it's very good because I can practice whenever is normal time, not before 10
Yeah.
in the morning, not later 9 in the night,
Yeah.
but yeah, I can practice through the day.
Okay, and what do you practice? What kind of music do you make?
Yeah, I'm a classical musician, so mostly it is sonatas, concertos for classical trumpets and techniques. But I like also jazz, even if I am not a professional jazz player. But I like to practice a bit of this and that, so to know something new. And actually, in the concert I'm about to play next Saturday, I
Hmm.
will include little pieces with some Cuban influences and a bit of different style, not only the typical classical.
Yeah, so you like to touch on other genres as well. Do you usually do this on your own, or do you have other musicians with you when you play jazz or others?
Yeah, normally I practice it by myself, but it is true that I am in contact with one of my teachers of the bachelor here in
Okay.
Spain. He was a jazz piano, he is a jazz piano player from Italy. He came as an Erasmus exchange and he stayed in Spain later. And we are planning maybe in the future to do some new music or jazz, kind of something new, different, some collaboration. We
Yeah.
are still defining it.
So you jam together. Can we say that? Okay. So is that how you came to experiment jazz? Was it with this teacher, I assume, and then you kind of realized that that's also your drive?
Yes, exactly. Because we are having improvisation subject in the Spanish conservatory. Some of them have more or less years of
Hmm.
studies, and our teacher was teaching us how to improvise on more classical styles with the chords, the typical patterns of different chords or different styles of the music, the different forms, forma sonata, no, the typical form, and then you first degree, fourth, fifth, first, no.
Yeah.
But then one year when he came, she said, okay, now this year you are learning something completely different. Giuliano will be your teacher now, and he will teach you different languages. And then I started liking it more than the typical improvisation, like more in classical, that is a bit more closed, no?
Yeah.
And then with the jazz, we were learning also the other languages to do a bit of different noise with the instrument and experiment. It's more
Yeah.
like to play when we were a child, no? That we were always having fun and not so much worried about playing perfect.
Mm.
And then with him, and I think in jazz also, it is a bit more free. There is more freedom to experiment, right? Not so
Yeah.
much focusing the mistake or playing so perfect everything, but to enjoy. It is more. I would say it is a bit more like this.
Yeah, to enjoy the freedom. Yeah, I understand that. So do you think maybe since we are all far from free right now, it's necessary, but I think we all have that feeling that it's our lives have become so narrow. Do you think maybe next weekend when you play, when you get to improvise, or I don't know exactly what you're going to do, but when you give us a taste of that freedom, that's going to have an effect on the audience? Can you talk to us a bit about that?
Yeah, well, I am preparing 5 different pieces. I I thought first to do 2 introductory etudes from etudes book. The first one is a vocalization. It's from Marco Bordogni, and it is very used for singers. And then the brass instruments started using it also. So it is very lyric, very melodic, and it makes you feel like in peace. I would say it is very free, in peace, and with a positive vibe. No, and I'm using a flugelhorn, and it is similar to the trumpet, but
Oh,
I have
yeah.
it here. It has a very big bell, and compared to the trumpet, you can see the difference. No,
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
it
yeah.
is double,
Clearly.
and it is also a bit wider, so it makes a very, very soft sound, very mellow, and it is very nice for the yes.
Does it have four, are they called keys?
Yeah, it has 4 valves to go into the
Valves.
lower
Okay.
register, into this one.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, the sound is a bit more round, and for this kind of etude, I like it. I like it a lot because it's very, yeah, very easy
Mellow.
going and very soft.
Yeah. Nice.
Then the other etude I would like to play in the second place is more, it's a bit faster, is happier, right? And it gets a bit more active feelings. No, the first one will be a bit more relaxed. The second one is a bit more active.
Yeah.
And then in the third piece I chose is a 11 tel, 11 12 minutes of music, and it is having 4 movements. I use another trumpet, is the C trumpet. Normally we have B flat, we use a lot in the wind bands, and the C trumpet we use more in the orchestra. You can see it is a bit shorter, the C trumpet.
Yeah.
And it sounds one tone higher. The sound quality is not very different from the B flat, but for the composition, the composer Stanley Friedman wrote it for C trumpet. And something very curious is that we are using 2 mutes. It is
Okay.
originally for solo trumpet, but he's playing with the sounds, with different sounds of the
Yeah.
mutes.
Yeah.
This is the straight mute, right? It is called straight because it has nothing, it's just simple mute. And this is the wah-wah mute, and we can create a very funny effect. I will play 2 notes so you can hear the differences
Okay.
of one and the other. So the trumpet will sound like this. It's a
Yeah.
bit more metallic, no? A bit more, yeah, dirty sound, no? A bit more.
Yeah, it's more jazzy, I guess. More rusty.
With this one, yeah, more rusty. That's the word. Thank you. And with this one, you can make the effect with your hand, and that's why it is called wah-wah, because you can do.
Yeah.
So in the second and the third movements, he's using one mute and then the other to give a very different smooth sound. And then in the fourth movement, here comes something very. This composition in 1975. It is called Solus for solo trumpet. So it is quite old, but it is quite contemporary still, because he is removing the valve,
Okay.
the slide valve, and then when you are playing, it is open, so the air is going out.
Yeah.
So when you play normally,
Yeah.
whenever you are pressing the second valve, there is going out,
Yeah.
and then it is sounding. It is
Yeah.
sounding really empty. It is sounding like empty. It's an
Yeah.
empty
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
It's very different. And he's playing with the harmonics, with and without. Glissandi also short glissandi, because in the trumpet it's not like the trombone that we have a slide, but here we have the slides of the third valve, and we can play with a half a tone glissando also.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's some different sounds that normally we are not used to playing the more classical or romantic period. It's more contemporary.
Yeah, so it's playing a lot with textures, maybe. It really is not just the direct sound of the trumpet, but it's helping the player, I guess, in a way, to make it more varied. Yeah, that's really cool. It's cool that you can experiment so much with your instrument and make it fun. Great?
There is a little surprise also in the third movement, but I cannot make any spoilers.
No.
It's very funny. So yeah, it's different piece. It's just very interesting. I really love it.
Great.
And then the fourth and the... Tell me.
No, I was gonna say that I'm super looking forward. It sounds really interesting.
Yes, I love this piece. And for trumpet players, it's because it is quite complicated piece. It's not the most complicated in the world, but it's quite demanding.
Yeah.
But it is very interesting because the effects are so much and so well thought, because he's a trumpet player as well, the composer. So every trumpet player likes this piece, and we enjoy playing it. I mean, as I know from all my friends and everything, is like, oh, solos, yeah, great piece. And yeah, it's very funny.
Yeah, cool.
And then to finish, I am playing another two etudes, little etudes from the Visuti book. Alan Visuti is also an American trumpet player, and he's very known for playing jazz and arrangements and Latin. So he's doing, but also classical. He's very complete, and he has very high register, amazing. And he did a concert etudes book.
Mm-hmm.
So it is short etudes for playing by yourself, and they are sounding very nice. And I am playing one from him, and another called the Cuban dance. So they are slightly different from the typical classical music, and they are a bit more free and giving a nice ending to this performance. So the audience is happy and satisfied, and if they experimented a bit of different feelings with these contemporary solos, they can feel again back to themselves and with some good vibe for continuing their weekend and the next week home. So yeah, I hope it helps.
Okay, so it's a whole journey throughout your performance, right? You take us through a lot of emotions, which is great. And I hope the audience gets something out of it as well, because yeah, as I said, it's strange times where our lives are a little narrow, so we're trying to bring us together, I guess, through the screen. And I think the best way to do that is to take, the feeling that you're performing for such a invisible audience, because you don't see them, but they're there, but you're connecting them through the emotions that you're giving them through your performance. So it sounds like a great plan that you have.
I'm really looking forward.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you would like to be known about you, about your music, maybe, or just?
Yeah, I would like to play a bit with the flugelhorn and with the trumpet, so you have the sound, and people can imagine, or yeah, can expect what they will hear a bit from this or from that instrument. That is the trumpet sound.
That's the normal trumpet.
That's the normal trumpet, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it is very hearable there.
Yeah, it's more like a horn, dare I say.
Yeah, it is more in this vibe. Actually, the tube is, and the mouthpiece as well, the construction of the instrument and the mouthpiece is more similar to the horn ones, As you can see here, it is very deep, and the trumpet mouthpiece is not so deep. So it helps also with the sound.
Yeah.
Deeper mouthpiece is making a rounder sound, even for playing the trumpet. Sometimes when we are trying different mouthpieces, we are looking for the one which is having this characteristic or the other one. If it is not so deep, it helps you for the high register, but the sound is a bit more narrow. And when it is a bit deeper, the sound is wider and it's rounder, but then the high register is more difficult. So yeah, we have to find the balance.
Always, yeah. Okay, well, that was very, very instructive, I think, and very interesting to hear more about what's behind your performance. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's great to have you, and I'll see you next Saturday. I think you will be towards the beginning of the evening. So I'm looking forward.
Looking forward, me too. See you on Saturday.
Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you, you too. Goodbye.